How y'all doing? Good to see you. Well, we're excited about the game Saturday in Bloomington. It should be a beautiful day there. We're excited about going. Our kids had enjoyed last night with the stadium out there full of all the students. It's really a great turnout, and it was exciting for our players and all the student body that was there. So we've been going through camp for a while now, and it's kind of like dog days every day, and it's similarly the same. And so it's been fun working with these guys, and excited about going to play Saturday. So I'll take any questions at this time.
Coach, just talk to us a little bit about Indiana. There's a lot of turnover there, new coach, a lot of new players. Just
right.
What stands out to you, and how much James Madison film have you guys been looking at specifically on what
Yeah.
they run over there?
Right, exactly. Great questions. I'll take the first one. Yeah, they have 31 new transfers, 17 new freshmen, new coaching staff. So it's a totally revamped team, and the guys that have stayed, I know, have a lot of pride of being there. They brought a lot of guys from James Madison with them. I was kind of laughing. They also brought 3 or 4 guys from Old Dominion, which is their big rival, which I thought was kind of interesting. There to Indiana. So they've made a lot of different moves on that side of it. We've been watching all James Madison film. We've watched the spring game film. They had the spring game. We don't get film, but we watched their spring game copy from the Big Ten network that we saw. And so, we would think that they will do a lot of what they did at James Madison. Of course, they were extremely successful, and they lost the one game to App State in overtime, and then got beat by Air Force in the bowl game after they were gone. But I think they brought the same defense coordinator, same offensive coordinator, a lot of the same players. So our assumption is they'll do a lot of the same offense, a lot of the same defense. They brought the same special teams coordinator. So we've been watching a lot of that and trying to tell our guys when they watch the film now, they're not going to be in purple and gold. They're going to be in red and white. So that's how we've been looking at it from there. So there's some good questions.
How did your team come out of camp in terms of injuries?
We came out well. We didn't have any season-ending injuries. We've had some nicks and that type of thing. And we hope to have everybody back by Saturday. We'll know in the next few days. But we didn't have any season-ending injuries. We've had some ankles and some different things like that. The guys might miss a game or two. But hopefully we look like we'll have most everybody back.
Talk a little bit about Curtis Rowe, who's probably going to be their starter there. Just what stands out to you about him?
Yeah, he had a heck of a career at Ohio University. He was MAC Player of the Year 1 year, I believe, or all first team, all conference. He had an excellent year 2 years ago. Last year he got injured, coming back off an ACL. He looked good in the spring game, moving around and throwing it. He's big. He's almost 6'5". He's 225 pounds, and so he's a big thrower and can also run it. So and he has a lot of experience. So we expect him to play well. Their backup, number 2, was in the spring game. He looked really athletic and good also. So I was impressed with both those guys in the spring game.
Just looking at your squad, towards the back half of camp, starting to look like the offense made some strides. Just what you see from them outside of your film?
Yeah, I think that usually the offense doesn't, take off right off the bat. It's more timing and understanding what they're doing as far as the timing of the game, because you can disrupt that a little bit more quicker on defense. And they have kept getting better and better and better. And I definitely feel like Keyone really is seeing the field really well, understands where he wants to go with the ball, understands the steps in the passing game and the offensive line, what they're doing. So feels a lot more comfortable there, and I feel like we'll be able to run the ball well with our running backs. So I felt like they just kind of, the dimmer switch kind of kept going on brighter and brighter and brighter as the fall camp went on. Is definitely what you want to see. And his strength on his arm is he's throwing the ball at least 10 yards further accurate on the deep balls and that type of thing. So it's been good.
On the special teams side, there's the TSW kickoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be Chase doing both kickoffs and field goals, or do you have
We're still working on that. We've had different guys experience doing it, so we feel like we know who it's going to be, but we would rather not Chase have to do both. But we'll see how that works.
Do you have any true freshmen break into the too deep into the turn?
We not any true freshmen breaking through. We have some that will be playing on special teams, and that would be able to. Josiah Taylor will play some on special teams. Big young linebacker. He hasn't broken into the too deep, but he's an excellent linebacker. So he'll be a true freshman that'll be, playing on special teams there.
Coach, one of those
And Shamar Sterling will be playing a lot on special teams, and he did break into the too deep. At safety. Yes.
Coach, one of the most mysterious parts about Indiana's roster is the running game. Their four biggest running backs from last season are all gone. A bunch of newcomers that can coming in. How difficult is it to prepare for what they could bring to their running game when there's a whole lot of mystery there?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, two of the guys that are their running backs are their two main running backs last year from James Madison. And number 6 at James Madison last year, which he'll wear number 8 at Indiana, and number 7 last year at James Madison, which he'll wear number 17 at Indiana. At least that's what they did in the spring game. So they really understand their running game. So I don't think they'll drop off as far as because they have that, and then they got a young man, I believe, that came in from Wake Forest. And I don't know where the other guy came from, but off the top of my head. But so I feel like they've replaced them with good players, especially the two guys that know their offense. I would think would fit quickly, that they won't feel like their running game would suffer because those guys would know how to do it. And I would imagine also in their pass protection, they know how to pick it up from what they did at James Madison.
Coach, obviously this team is used to playing in tough environments, such as an SEC school last year. Now you're entering Big Ten territory with the packed house there at Bloomington. How's the team preparing for that?
I think our kids will love it being a packed house. I think they'll thrive in it. I think they'll enjoy it immensely, and I don't think they'll step back and all from it one bit. I think they'll totally embrace it, and it'd be fun watching them do that.
What are your thoughts on Coach Signetti? He's in a similar situation to you were when you joined FIU.
Mm-hmm.
The team was coming off a few back-to-back seasons of subpar performance. Now he has the job to turn things around in Indiana. What are your thoughts on him and his role there?
Yeah, he comes from a coaching family. He's a coach's kid too. His brother's in the business coaching, and Kurt's done great everywhere he's been, and he'll end up doing a heck of a job there at Indiana, so he knows how to do it. He's done it multiple times. He has his plan. He'll work his plan, and as he keeps getting players in there, and of course it's a little different now with the transfer thing, and then him coming from a school and taking a lot of players from that school to the school hasn't happened as much as it has with them this time, I think, as many as it was. It's happened a few times, but specifically from your school following you, I think is interesting. So I think they feel comfortable that they'll be able to kind of get up running quicker because there's more familiarity with their system and the culture that they want to build within this program.
Coach, is Buchanan, did he win the starting job at center? And if so, what's the snaps been like to keep Park and start the offense?
Yeah, Jaheim has done really well at center. He's playing center and guard, and we're kind of he'll start at center or guard. Don't know which one yet, and we'll wait till we get there Saturday.
And then who's the other center that would be?
Wient Lawson.
So
Yeah.
guard center. And how have you seen the snaps? Because like I said, crucial part. How's Keyone adjusting to the different snappers?
He's adjusted well. Most of the time we're in the gun,
right.
But when we go under center, so every day before, right at the beginning of practice, when the kickers are warming up, all the centers and quarterbacks kind of go with each center. They rotate. They do all the different snaps. They do different things. So we feel very comfortable with that. Of course, when you get in the game, a little bit of the nervousness, sometimes, especially when you go in the gun a lot like we do and like a lot of gun teams do, the snapper, he's got to get used to the nervousness of it. But I think Jaheim's done really well at it. Wyatt has played a lot of center for us in the past and guard. So we feel good about both of those guys snapping and handling it, and I feel that Keyone feels really comfortable with them too.
I know Indiana's bringing the leading receiver back, but the other guy they brought in, Surratt from James Madison.
Yes.
First team all Sun Belt, just
Right.
stands out on him.
He's big. excellent hands, can run great routes. He's a excellent player. Their receiving core looks like it's extremely talented, and they have a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. They also brought their tight end, number 44. He wore 44 for James Madison. He's wearing 44 in the spring game for Indiana. He really understands their system. He's a big component of what they do. So, but their receivers are going to be really good, and they're most of them got some big athletic receivers.
And then we know Keyone's likely to start. Have you named the backup? I know there was a competition.
Yeah, we're still working on that, and haven't quite decided exactly what we do. I think we'll see if that happens, how the game's going, what the situation in the game is, and see how that happens. But hope everything goes well.
And then what were you able to take away from the Arkansas game? That's the first Power 5 team, I believe, or Power 4 team you faced here at FIU. Now going to your second year, facing another power conference.
Yep.
What were you able to take away from that matchup that you probably won't here?
Well, I mean, the Arkansas game was a fun game. We had our chances in it, and we had a couple. We had a big turnover that happened off a pass that bopped up in the air, and they caught and ran to score. That kind of changed the game a little bit. But I thought overall our kids played really hard and played well enough at times. If we wouldn't have had that play, it would have been right there with a 7-point game most of the game, 7-10-point game. So. And we got down, then we came back and went up, and I thought they competed really well.
Coach, I don't mean to look ahead a bit, but following this game, every single game of the month of September is in South Florida, 3 games at Pitbull Stadium,
Yep.
1 in Boca Raton. Just what would an upset win, or at the very least a solid performance against Indiana, do for this team's momentum and motivation leading up to what would be a very important month of September?
Yeah, well, I think the first games are always big and exciting. But I think that we don't even think ahead and look ahead. We're really worried about tomorrow morning's practice and focusing on that. But but on the other side of that, it is good to have all those games at home in South Florida. That's what I was saying. It's good. It's good to be able to FAU and FIU us play each other, and I'm pretty sure they feel the same way. When you got 7 games in South Florida every year, that's one less plane trip. And that's always good.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
How y'all doing, fellas?
Alrighty, just take us through what you've noticed about Indiana, I guess, / James Madison now with the film studies.
I see a lot of great things, They're a Power 5 school, well, Power 4 now. They're not to be taken lightly. We got to lock in a little bit more, They is in the Big Ten, so they're a little bigger. They got a couple bigger guys. But, they're a bunch of guys, you know what I'm saying? Regular dudes just playing football.
What do you think your offense is kind of throwing towards the back end of the camp? Definitely winning a couple of those days.
The offense, I say they feeding off my energy right now. I've been rolling past couple of weeks. So, the more I go up, the more they go up. So I just try to keep the intensity level high, and they try to match me. And we rolling right now, so that's one thing I can say. A lot of the positive things coming out. We not making the same mistakes we made first week of camp, stuff like that. It's real smooth.
Mac was mentioning how you've been working with a couple centers. Just what's happening like? You feel comfortable with that?
So that's a big deal. So, snaps be different, and a lot of centers, they do different things. So it's really building that connection, and it don't really take too much. You get a couple practice snaps on and off the field during practice, outside of practice, and before and after. Just working on that, and they ask me every time we come out the field, hey, how the snaps was, and I'll tell them, this one was left, and stuff like that. We just get situated.
And how different has this preparation been, just knowing you have to look at another team's film rather than the team you're actually facing physically?
It's a little tricky, you know what I'm saying, because they can be running something different, but we know, a lot of coaches, and I'll say OCs and DCs are real stubborn, so they're going to run what they want to run. So I think our coach is preparing us for something we're going to see this weekend.
What were you able to take away from that Arkansas game that you could use here in 2 power?
It's just playing football, a bunch of regular guys, you know what I'm saying. They put their clothes on just like we do. It's just how you're going to be a man about it and get your job done.
Keyone, how excited are you to help introduce the running game for FIU against Indiana? Obviously, you have Owens and Lawrence. Now you have return of Flex. Just how are you excited about debuting that?
I'm not more excited than those guys, but I say it's going to be real fun, real interesting. Trying to see those guys stop the backfield. As long as we do our part up front with the front five, things should be real smooth, and they're going to have a hard time trying to stop those guys in the backfield.
Good.
Yeah, I'm great.
Reggie, just how's your film study going? I know you've probably been watching some James Madison, at the end of the game. Just what stood out to you about them?
Film studying going really great. I bring the linebackers over to my room. I got a projector in my room, and sometimes when guys feeling lazy to come over here, we just say, come to my room, we'll order food and just watch it on my big white wall. And yeah, we'll watch a bunch of James Madison film because that's where the guys came from. Their key players are over there as well. And yeah, watching them, they're definitely a great team. I agree with what Coach Mac said. It's just James Madison, but in a red and white. So we're very excited. We're very excited to go over there and handle business.
Anyone that stands out to you on their side of the team?
I would definitely say 44 is a great player, the tight end. Me being an inside backer, that's probably the matchup that I would have to be going against. And also their running backs, they have a great running back room. Me personally, I think that that they're going to run the ball and they're going to throw the ball as well because they have a bunch of great receivers. But in my opinion, watching film, I would probably say 60% run, 40% pass. So that's what I think.
Did it kind of surprise you a little bit when you say 60% run? Because they were one of the offenses in the Sun Belt that was one of the worst in rush offense.
Yeah, it did surprise me, but they see us as the underdog. We're the underdog in that story. So just trying to think about it, I think that they're going to try to rush the ball down our throats and then trying to give their wide receivers, key passes to make plays because they don't want to get bored during the game. But that's what I think that they're going to do. That's the game plan that I think they're going to do, and we're just going to have to capitalize on it.
During the back end of camp, just what stood out to you about this offense that you feel like they have?
Our offense or theirs?
Yours.
Oh, our offense, Lights. Lights definitely stood out, Lights is way better than last year. He was great last year. In my opinion, he's great this year, I lost. I didn't catch a pick from him this fall camp. I usually do, but he won this time. And, I'm just so excited for him because that means that he's not trying to throw turnovers, And he's definitely did a good job by getting the ball out of our hands and giving it to his receivers. And, yeah, that just makes practice more competitive, because we get tired of them scoring and they get tired of us making plays. And, yeah, our offense is definitely looking great. I'm excited for you guys to watch because they got a lot to prove and they want to show you guys the new FIU offense.
Obviously, it's going to be EA next year there in that linebacker. Just how excited are you for them?
I'm excited for EA. EA definitely went through trials and tribulations. He lost a bunch of weight to get to where he's at now. EA was behind me last year, and I always say this about EA, no matter what, he's going to go make a tackle. Like, EA is a great in-the-box tackler, and I think that he's a great fit for that Mike spot, and I think he's going to turn a lot of heads this year as well.
You as a veteran, this linebacker group seems a pretty young group for the most part. Just
Yes.
what advice that you offer them, having played in these games against SEC opponents. And,
Yeah.
college teams.
For the guys in my group, I tell them these are the games that you want. These are the games, whatever you do, just star in your role. These are the games when you're running down on kickoff. Coach said we got a young linebacker, Josiah Taylor. He is a dog, and he's on punt, he's on kickoff. So we're trying to get him in action as most as possible. Same thing with Percy Courtney. Those are both young guys, and Dwight Nunu, Travion Barnes. When I tell you we have a stacked room, I think FIU is going to be in good hands when I leave, and when EA leaves, they're going to be in good hands this year as well with them. So the advice that I just give them is star in your role. You never know when your opportunity is going to come, and I know something that we did. We definitely switched around a lot. Like EA got in when I needed a break, or when EA needed a break, I got in, and yeah. I'm just excited for them too. This is their first one because a couple of the guys in that room came from JUCO, and they never really played against a big crowd before. So I just tell them, continue to pray, what you always do, and just stay focused. If you're not anxious for this game, then I should be scared. When people are anxious, that's how I know they're locked down. If there's somebody that's just like, all right, let's go, I'm like, okay, I don't think you're really feeling it, but yeah, I'm excited for them.
So did you stay in your same spot rather than move to Donovan's spot? Is that what happened?
I stayed at Will linebacker. Donovan went to Mike. I stayed at Will. My mind says don't fix anything that's not broke, So a couple guys wanted me to go to the Mike spot, but like I just said, I don't want to fix anything that's not broke. So I stayed at the will spot, and I'm going to continue to be the leader and start my role in the will spot, call the plays. Now we got the little headsets in our ears now with the green dot. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. That's two brains with one now instead of just by myself, and we have a great DC. So just having him in my ear, especially at the will spot, I'm looking forward to doing way better than what I did last year.
And you said that you had the fellow linebackers come to your room to watch film. Do you live on campus or off campus?
I live on campus. I live on campus right there in Parkview West. We live in Parkview West. I can't tell you the room number, y'all.
Don't tell me that, but how big is the room where you guys are all piling in there watching this film?
My opinion, Parkview is one of the best housing. Got one of the best housing. Nice living room. So I don't really have a stand for my projector, so I just get my little rollers. When you roll out your body, and I stack it up on top of my table and put the film on top, connect my laptop, and we're just watching the whole time. And I just ask the guys, hey, what do you see differently, or what do you think 44 is going to do when he motion in and out of the core? And I just asked them, and I give them little tests. And Coach DeWitt and Coach Mac also sends our learn to win. So yeah, it's exciting.
It's not like a screen you have just put on the wall.
I put it on the wall, and it works perfectly. I gotta show you a picture one day. It works perfectly. It works just like this. It works perfectly.
You're able to go back and forth.
I'm able to go back and forth. I got it on my laptop, so I got Thundercloud on my laptop, touchscreen laptop, zoom in, zoom out. So it feels like I'm here.
Who was your best student?
Who's my best student? No comment.
Reggie, Coach had said that he believes this team will thrive in Bloomington, a Big Ten house, packed house.
Yes.
So you personally, how excited are you to be playing in a sold-out crowd over in Indiana?
I'm excited. I'm from the 772 area, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, and where I'm from, everybody's first offer is Indiana. That's everybody's first offer. But I wasn't one of them guys who were lucky to get one of those. So I would always see Indiana, come by to the school. And I think at the time it was Casey Teagarden, but he's no longer there. He's at Eastern Michigan. So I was definitely excited to see Indiana on the schedule, but then I heard he left. But now I'm still excited to go against Indiana. It's definitely going to be a great crowd. It's their first game. And it's definitely going to be in the morning. Not morning time, but, daytime. And yeah, it's just exciting. I'm excited.
So Indiana had a big presence in your hometown.
Oh, yes. They recruit a lot of 772 guys, and Coach Casey Teagarden was one of those guys who was our area. And, yeah, so – and he's a great guy, but, I had a little grudge with him, but he's gone now. So I was like, oh.
You had a grudge because they didn't offer.
Yeah. You remember me. I keep all that. I keep the receipts in my mind, so – yeah.
Why do you think they didn't offer you?
I don't know why. My coach is always. I'm not a bad kid. 3.8 student. I play good football. I really don't know. That's a question I got to ask him one day.
What have you noticed about Curtis Rowe? Maybe some of his tendencies now, with this.
I can't really give out the tendencies yet, but he's definitely a great quarterback. He's a vocal leader. He does a great job of seeing the whole field, I would say, and I think a lot of people are. They're underestimating his ability to move around too, because he just did come off an injury, but I still feel like he could run as well, and he's a great quarterback in my opinion. He's a great player.
Going back to the topic of being excited to play in Bloomington, how much of that comes from your experience playing in another Power 4 stadium last season in Arkansas where you had a solid performance? How much of that game is playing into your mind coming to this one?
It's definitely exciting. It's nothing like playing against the SEC though. It's nothing like that feeling is beyond real. And just playing in Arkansas, just being a walk on, and the Bronze Burlsworth Trophy that's there. So it was definitely inspirational. And just seeing all the fans, I have a bunch of people that's texting me that's also from Indiana that can't wait to see me there, and I can't wait to see them too. But it's like, hey, I'm gonna have to kill your hometown real quick before I come and take a picture with you after the game. So please don't hate me. But yeah, I'm excited. It's just an amazing feeling. Same colors, big crowd, just like Arkansas. I try to keep every game the same. Even if it's a team on our conference, I try to think of them as a powerhouse team as well, because you can't underestimate anyone.
And with the season soon approaching, have you set personal goals for sacks, tackles for losses?
Yes. Yes, I did set personal goals, and it's to beat Donovan and everything. I'm definitely going for that tackling record because we have guys in our linebacker room who could definitely beat that. So I'm trying to set a standard before I leave and set a goal so high that nobody can beat. So that's my job. You know, it's my last year. I'm trying to set the bar so hard that they're gonna be like, wow, Reggie, it was. I'm just trying to leave my names in rooms I haven't even stepped in. So
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Reggie.
thank you so much. Have a nice day.